Hello everyone and welcome to American Celebrity Legends. In the past few days, the art world has again quietly said goodbye to several familiar faces. Artists who once appeared on stage, on screen, and in the memories of many generations of audiences. Some brought laughter, some left behind unforgettable melodies, some spent their entire lives telling stories that made us reflect. Today, we will together look back at the lives of the artists who have just passed away and the imprints that they left in popular culture. If you appreciate memorial content like this, please press like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for accompanying us. Now let us begin. The American actor James Tolkan, a familiar face in Hollywood films from the 1980s, passed away on March 27th, 2026, at the age of 94. He is most remembered by global audiences for his role as the strict Principal Strickland in the classic Back to the Future series, alongside his notable contributions to other blockbuster works such as Top Gun and WarGames throughout his career, which spanned over 5 decades. American artist and singer Crofts, one half of the legendary soft rock duo Seals and Crofts, passed away at his home on March 26, 2026, at the age of 85. He is remembered by the global public as a master of the mandolin and the creator of timeless 1970s hits such as Summer Breeze, Diamond Girl, and Get Closer, songs that helped shape contemporary light music and left behind a timeless musical legacy. American guitarist Ross the Boss Friedman, co-founder of the legendary heavy metal band Manowar, passed away from complications after a sudden heart attack on March 28, 2026, at the age of 72. He is honored by the international music community as an icon of the true metal genre through the first 6 classic albums of Manowar, and as a pioneer of the punk rock movement in New York as a key member of the Dictators. Chuck Norris, the American martial arts and cinema legend, Hollywood's symbol of strength with a brilliant career spanning over 6 decades, passed away in Kauai, Hawaii on March 19, 2026, at the age of 86. He leaves behind a massive legacy as a 6-time consecutive world karate champion, the star of the classic television series Walker, Texas Ranger, and the central figure of immortal internet cultural phenomena that helped inspire discipline and strength for millions of people globally. American female artist and television host Kiki Shepard, an icon of the legendary Apollo stage, passed away on March 17, 2026, in Los Angeles at the age of 75 after a long battle with pancreatic cancer. She was most widely known to the public as the longtime co-host of the classic entertainment series Showtime at the Apollo from 1987 to 2002, while also being a devoted philanthropic activist in raising awareness about sickle cell disease through the non-profit organization bearing her name. American music legend Neil Sedaka, the renowned singer-songwriter with a career spanning over 6 decades, passed away in Los Angeles on February 27, 2026, at the age of 86 due to complications from cardiovascular disease. As one of the typical architects of the brill-building music era, he leaves behind a massive legacy of over 500 songs, including immortal chart-topping hits such as Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, Laughter in the Rain, and Bad Blood. American film and stage legend James Earl Jones, the actor possessing one of the most iconic voices in Hollywood history, passed away peacefully at his home in New York on September 9, 2024, at the age of 93. He leaves behind a massive artistic legacy with the noble EGOT title, remembered by global audiences for voicing immortal characters such as Darth Vader in Star Wars, King Mufasa in The Lion King, and a distinguished acting career on the Broadway stage. American film legend Robert Redford, the renowned actor, director, and icon of independent cinema, passed away at his home in Utah on September 10, 2025, at the age of 89. He leaves behind a massive legacy with an Academy Award for Best Director, immortal roles in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and All the President's Men, while also being the founder of the prestigious Sundance Film Festival, which helped change the face of world cinema. American actor Matthew Perry, the renowned star whose career was associated with the golden age of Hollywood television, passed away at his home in Los Angeles on October 28, 2023, at the age of 54. He left a deep mark on global popular culture through the iconic role of Chandler Bing in the classic television series Friends, and was respected for his efforts to publicly inspire the fight against substance dependence. British film and stage legend Maggie Smith, the two-time Oscar-winning actress and icon of the world's dramatic arts, passed away peacefully at a hospital in London on September 27, 2024, at the age of 89. She leaves behind a massive artistic legacy spanning over 7 decades, with the Triple Crown of Acting title, beloved by global audiences through immortal roles such as Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter film series, and Dowager Countess Violet Crawley in Downton Abbey. Donald Sutherland, the Canadian film legend, a veteran actor with a massive career spanning over 6 decades, passed away in Miami on June 20, 2024, at the age of 88 after a long period of illness. He left an indelible mark on cinematic history with an honorary Oscar and immortal roles in MASH, Ordinary People, as well as the powerful character President Snow in the Hunger Games blockbuster series. Former American football superstar O.J. Simpson, the central figure of one of the most controversial criminal cases in United States legal history, passed away in Las Vegas on April 10, 2024, at the age of 76 after a period of battling cancer. Once a Heisman Trophy winner and inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, he was associated with a legendary sports legacy along with shocking legal events after being acquitted in the trial for the murder of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson in 1995. Olivia Newton-John, the Australian music and film legend, a 4-time Grammy-winning female artist and icon of world popular culture, passed away in California on August 8, 2022, at the age of 73, after a battle lasting over 30 years with breast cancer. She leaves behind a massive artistic legacy with over 100 million albums sold, making a deep impression through the immortal role of Sandy in the movie Grease and the global hit Physical, while also being a devoted humanitarian activist in the field of cancer research. News report: recovery of 2 aircraft black boxes from the aviation tragedy at LaGuardia. To access the black boxes from the deformed wreckage of aircraft AC-8-646, rescue teams had to cut a large hole in the roof of the plane. This is the key to decoding the head-on collision tragedy between the aircraft and a fire truck at LaGuardia Airport on Sunday night, March 22, 2026. The incident occurred at 23:45 when the Air Canada Express Mitsubishi CRJ 900 landed at a speed of 160 km per hour on runway 4. The violent impact with a fire truck performing another mission completely destroyed the cockpit, causing 2 Canadian pilots, Antoine Forrest and Mackenzie Gunther, to die instantly. The fire truck overturned, was seriously damaged, and caused 2 personnel on the vehicle to be injured. Black box data confirms that in the final moments, But the two pilots made efforts to brake hard, helping 39 passengers and crew in the rear survive, including a female flight attendant who was ejected from the aircraft. The NTSB is currently investigating deeply into a coordination error when only 20 seconds before the collision, one controller authorized the plane to land, while another allowed the fire truck to cross the same runway. Ground radar failed to issue an alert because the fire truck lacked a position transponder. The final audio recorded was the controller's desperate shout, "Stop, truck 1," in vain. Among more than 40 injured people, 4 are currently in intensive care. This is the first fatal accident at LaGuardia in 30 years, posing an urgent requirement for ground safety. News report the final moments and brave actions at LaGuardia Airport. Without that decisive reaction in those few short seconds, the plane could have exploded or flipped over, stated Mr. Liam Henderson, a passenger sitting in row 5 on flight A, C8646. As soon as the aircraft's wheels touched the ground on Sunday night, March 22nd, 2026, Mr. Henderson felt a violent jolt from the emergency braking system, a final effort by the flight crew before the tragedy struck. In the event of the Mitsubishi CRJ-900 colliding with the fire truck in thick fog conditions, preliminary data shows that despite having only about 3 to 5 seconds to identify the obstacle, the two pilots, Antoine Forrest and Mackenzie Gunther, timely activated maximum brakes and steered to avoid a direct center-on impact, but helping to protect the safety of the entire rear fuselage. The pressure from the collision was so great that it caused a portion of the front floor to be ripped away, pushing a female flight attendant's seat down onto the runway while she was still fastened in her seatbelt. Inside the passenger cabin, although the lights went out and smoke poured in, the decisive guidance of the remaining flight attendants helped 39 passengers evacuate safely in an orderly manner. Currently, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, is focusing on clarifying the reason the fire truck did not receive the stop command from the control tower and the impact of limited visibility on the accident. While the technical investigation is still ongoing, its surviving passengers have begun calling for the construction of a small memorial at the airport to honor the two pilots, Forrest and Gunther, those who performed their duty until their very last breath to prevent a worse tragedy. News report: 42-year-old woman passes away at Spa. At approximately 4 p.m. on Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, a tragic incident occurred at the Springs Healing Center in Plano, Texas, resulting in the death of a 42-year-old woman. The incident began when spa staff discovered the victim unconscious in a soaking tub within a private treatment area. Immediately after receiving an emergency call to the 911 hotline, the Plano Fire and Medical Forces quickly arrived at the scene. Despite efforts in emergency resuscitation and cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, on site, the woman did not survive and was confirmed deceased shortly thereafter. Currently, the Plano Police Department is investigating the case as a drowning. According to preliminary reports, authorities found no signs of a struggle or external foul play. When the body has been transferred to the Collin County Medical Examiner's Office for an autopsy to determine whether sudden medical factors, such as a stroke or heart attack, led to the accident. The spa has temporarily closed and pledged to cooperate closely with authorities. The incident serves as a reminder from experts about the risks of using thermal soaking tubs alone, especially for individuals with underlying medical conditions or those using medication that causes drowsiness. News report: $20 billion. Turning point and NASA's ambition for lunar settlement. $20 billion over the next 7 years is the massive figure that NASA expects to invest to shift from short exploratory steps to establishing a long-term human presence on the Moon's surface. This is a strategic announcement recently made by NASA Executive Director, Mr. Jared Isaacman, in late March 2026. The most notable highlight is the decision to pause the orbital space station project, Lunar Gateway, to focus all resources on building a base directly on the surface. The ignition roadmap consists of 3 phases. From now until 2028, the focus will be on transporting supplies and selecting a location at the South Pole, where there are precious water ice resources. After 2030, NASA expects to complete permanent residential modules and nuclear power systems, allowing astronauts to sustain life through the 14-day lunar night. Besides the technical aspects, the project is also a close coordination between NASA and partners such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, along with the space agencies of Japan, JAXA, and Europe, ESA. Mr. Isaacman affirmed that this base is not only to maintain position against competition from China, but is also a core technology incubator for the goal of sending humans to Mars in the future. In the immediate future, the Artemis II mission scheduled for launch in April 2026 will carry 4 astronauts around the Moon, serving as a stepping stone for Artemis IV in 2028, the time when humans officially return to the lunar surface after more than half a century. NASA is step-by-step turning the ambition of extraterrestrial settlement into reality through practical and decisive steps. News report. The steel willpower on the peak of Kilimanjaro of the woman who lost both legs. At an altitude of 5,895 meters, amidst the freezing cold on Uhuru Peak of Mount Kilimanjaro, Mandy Horvath burst into tears in happiness. She did not conquer the roof of Africa with legs, but by a persistent journey lasting 6 days, crawling and climbing entirely with hands and hips. The image of the first woman missing both legs to touch the highest mountain peak of Tanzania without needing prosthetic legs has become a symbol of extraordinary living willpower in this march. To gain that moment of freedom, Mandy had to overcome the darkness of the past. In 2014, the life of the 21-year-old girl turned in a cruel direction after a horrific railway accident. Mandy woke up and was stunned to realize she had lost her legs after being run over by a train. Although the suspicion of being drugged on that fateful night still has no answer, the consequence left behind was a grim reality. Mandy fell into severe depression, feeling that she herself lost the value of living. The decision to climb Kilimanjaro was not only a physical challenge, but the way Mandy faced mental pain lasting more than a decade. During 18 continuous hours of the summit day, facing the condition of blistered hands and exhaustion, she chose not to give up. Mandy shared that she wanted to prove legs do not define her person, and every meter of crawling forward was a step moving away from the title of victim. Mandy's story is currently recorded in the documentary film The Ascent, aiming to raise awareness about mental health and inspire the community of people with disabilities. The message she sends is very clear. Pain can change the shape of the body, but cannot subjugate the human will.